For the first time since the early 90s, something unprecedented happened in music. Hip-hop, the genre that has dominated the charts for decades, completely vanished from the Billboard Hot 100's top spots. In early 2023, for the first time in 30 years, not a single rap song cracked the top 10. Think about that. For an entire generation, hip-hop has been the undisputed king of popular music. From Tupac and Biggie to Jay-Z and Kanye, from Drake to Kendrick Lamar, rap artists have consistently defined the cultural zeitgeist. So, what happened? How did a genre that seemed invincible suddenly find itself on the outside looking in? Today, we're diving deep into the seismic shift that's shaking up the music industry. This isn't just about a few songs falling off a chart. It's a story about changing tastes, new platforms, and the very evolution of what it means to be a superstar in the 21st century. Let's rewind a bit. For years, hip-hop's dominance was a given. It wasn't just on the charts, it was everywhere. It influenced fashion, language, movies, and advertising. The biggest stars in the world were rappers. Drake broke records held by the Beatles. Cardi B became a global icon. Post Malone blended genres and ruled the streaming world. The formula seemed simple. A great beat, a catchy hook, and a charismatic rapper could launch a song into the stratosphere. Streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music amplified this, with curated playlists like Rap Caviar becoming kingmakers, capable of turning an unknown artist into a household name overnight. Hip-hop was the engine of popular culture, and its fuel was a constant stream of new hits, new artists, and new trends. The numbers backed it up, year after year. Hip-hop was the most consumed genre in the United States, and its influence was felt globally. So, the question remains, what broke the machine? One of the biggest factors is a quiet giant that has been reshaping the entire media landscape: TikTok. While TikTok has been a launchpad for many rap hits in the past, its influence has evolved. The platform's algorithm favors short, instantly gratifying audio clips. This has led to a surge in what many call vibe music, songs that set a mood or fit a specific aesthetic, rather than relying on traditional song structure or lyrical complexity. Think of sped-up versions of older songs, ambient electronic tracks, or nostalgic pop-punk anthems. These aren't just songs, they're soundtracks for millions of short videos. The nature of TikTok virality means that a 15-second snippet can become more famous than the song itself. This dynamic doesn't always favor the narrative-driven, multiverse structure of many traditional hip-hop tracks. While a rapper's clever wordplay might be brilliant over 3 minutes, it can get lost in the rapid-fire scroll of a For You page. Simultaneously, we're seeing the rise of other genres that are perfectly suited for this new environment. Country music, for example, has had a massive resurgence. Artists like Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, and Zach Bryan are not just topping the country charts. They're dominating the overall Billboard charts. Their success comes from a combination of authentic storytelling, a dedicated fan base, and music that translates well across different platforms, including both traditional radio and viral social media. Then there's the explosion of regional Mexican music and Latin artists like Bad Bunny and Peso Pluma, who have built colossal global audiences. They've proven that music doesn't need to be in English to be a worldwide phenomenon. Their sound, energy, and cultural pride have captivated listeners everywhere, filling the space at the top of the charts that hip-hop once so firmly occupied. It's a globalized, multi-genre music world now, and hip-hop is no longer the only superstar in the room. Another piece of the puzzle is what some are calling a superstar drought within hip-hop itself. Think about the last few years. Many of the genre's titans have been relatively quiet. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. These artists operate on their own timelines, often taking long breaks between album cycles. In 2023, the release schedule from hip-hop's A-list was noticeably lighter than in previous years. While the underground and independent scenes are as vibrant as ever, the kind of massive, culture-shifting album drops that used to be a regular occurrence just didn't happen with the same frequency. Without these tentpole releases to anchor the genre at the top of the charts, a vacuum was created. And as we've seen, other genres were more than ready to fill it. The industry has become so reliant on these megastars to drive consumption that when they take a step back, the entire genre's commercial performance can feel the impact. Furthermore, the very definition of a hit is changing. In the past, a hit song had a specific life cycle. It would be released, get radio play, climb the charts, and be promoted with a music video. Today, a song can be a massive success without ever touching the top 40. A track might rack up hundreds of millions of streams within a specific community on SoundCloud or YouTube, but never cross over into the mainstream consciousness measured by Billboard. Hip-hop has always had a strong connection to the underground, but now that underground is bigger and more self-sufficient than ever. Artists can build sustainable careers and connect directly with millions of fans without needing the traditional industry machine. This is a positive development for artistic freedom. But it does mean that the genre's overall cultural impact is more fragmented and harder to measure by a single metric like the Hot 100. The power is decentralizing, moving away from a few gatekeepers and into the hands of 1,000 smaller communities. So, is hip-hop dead? Absolutely not. To even suggest that would be to misunderstand the genre's resilience and cultural importance. Hip-hop has always been a cycle of innovation and evolution. It was born as a counterculture, became the mainstream, and now it might be entering a new phase. What we're witnessing isn't the death of a genre, but a recalibration. The charts are a snapshot of a specific moment in time, influenced by algorithms, marketing budgets, and shifting listener habits. They don't always capture the full picture of what's happening on the ground, in the clubs, in the headphones of millions of fans. Hip-hop's influence is now so deeply embedded in the DNA of popular music that it's no longer just a genre, it's a foundational element. Pop stars rap, country artists use 808s, and the language of hip-hop is the language of modern youth culture. The disappearance from the top of the charts might actually be a healthy sign. It could force a new wave of creativity. When you're no longer the undisputed king, you have to fight, you have to innovate, you have to push boundaries. We might be on the verge of a new golden era for hip-hop, one that isn't defined by chart positions but by artistic daring and a renewed connection with the grassroots. The next generation of artists who grew up in this new, fragmented media landscape will undoubtedly find new ways to tell their stories and connect with audiences. They won't be playing by the old rules, because those rules are being rewritten in real time. The charts have always been cyclical. Pop-punk had its moment, EDM had its moment, and now country and Latin music are shining. Hip-hop will be back on top. But when it returns, it might look and sound completely different from what we've known. And that's what makes music so exciting. This isn't an obituary, it's a cliffhanger. The story of hip-hop is far from over. What do you think is next for the genre? Are the charts still a relevant measure of success, or are they a relic of a bygone era? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you all think about this massive shift in the music world. Is this a temporary blip or a permanent change? Thanks so much for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into music and culture. We'll see you in the next one.